New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
What Would Louise Say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of What Would Louise Say? I'm your host, Reverend Martine, and as always, our show is dedicated to keeping alive the wisdom, love, and healing philosophy of our beloved Louise Hay. Louise reminded us that our thoughts create reality, and when we choose love, forgiveness, and affirmations, we open the door to miracles. We stay in the miracle vibration of life. Today, I am beyond thrilled to welcome a woman who has been called the Italian Louise Hay by international media. She is an international speaker, best-selling author, and an author of 22 books. 22 books, beautiful souls. A best-selling author, the official Heal Your Life trainer for Italy, for Italia. For over 25 years, she's been helping people around the world release limiting beliefs, cultivate self-love, and create authentically meaningful change in their lives. Please join me, beautiful souls, in welcoming the incredible Lucia Giovannini. I think I pronounced that okay, Lucia. I hope I didn't massacre your name. Oh, I think that you're muted. You're muted, Lucia.
Okay, now you should hear.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Easy technology, so easy relationship with technology.
I know. We're all learning and growing. And what a blessing to have you here all the way from Italy. And do you mind sharing what part of Italy? I'm just imagining the beauty.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say I'm so grateful to be here. Really, congratulations on the amazing job that you're doing, and it's so needed in these times.
Thank you.
So
I absolutely love Louise, and her books changed my life. The classes with Dr. Patricia and Rick Nichols, the master teachers, trainer educators, have changed my life for the better. So anything to keep this philosophy alive. And I'm blessed that Reverend Robert of the New Thought Media Network and Reverend Michael were so open to the possibility of this show. So shout out to the Revs, Rev Robert, Rev Michael.
So I'm in Bologna. Bologna is a town, well, it's a city actually. Just to give you an idea, an hour from Venice and then 45 minutes from Florence, 2 hours and a half from Rome. Like north center of Italy.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I just got here a few days ago from Bali because I live part of the year in Italy, part of the year in Bali, and part of the year in Thailand. So like
Ah! Oh, you can
quite
help me because I'm thinking about moving to Thailand. I think everyone
oh,
and their neighbor is. Just because, it just seems like just a beautiful, peaceful
it is.
place with spiritual values. They
It
seem to
is.
embody in their everyday reality, government policies, and all of that. And here is Lucia's beautiful, beautiful book, A Whole New Life, my beautiful viewers. A Whole New Life. Discover the purpose of, oh my gosh, I'm like not seeing it, but
Yeah, the power of transformation.
discover the power of transformation. Lucia, my gosh, your journey sounds just amazing. How, for this, because I could talk to you for hours. Now that you've mentioned Italy, Bali, Thailand, I could talk to Lucia for hours on top of everything regarding Louise Hay. But please tell us the story. How did you discover Louise's fantastic philosophy?
Yeah, actually, I discovered Louise's work in a period of my life where I was going through a very difficult time. I was actually going through depression. I didn't realize it at that time that it was depression because somehow it was functional depression, which is
Yes.
actually more difficult to spot because if you have depression and it's like you can't get out of bed in the morning, then I mean it's quite easy to realize something is wrong. But functional depression, you're still functioning, I was still working and traveling the world, but I was like dead inside. I couldn't feel anything. It's like my life had no meaning. And so I start questioning myself, of course, especially because apparently I had it all. I was working as a model at that time, by the way. So totally different domain. Even if I've always been interested in psychology and philosophy and spirituality, but like when I was at college, they offered me this job as a model, and I said, why not? Like travel the world,
Yes, yes.
money, yeah. And I thought I would, I like, I'll do it for a while, and instead it went on for like more than 10 years. But at the same time, so I married a model. Everything was, like around that job. And so, long story short, I woke up one morning like feeling dead inside. I realized that was not the life I really wanted. That was not the life for me. And so, at the beginning, in a way, I tried to numb my pain in every way I could. I worked even more, started 3 companies in the fashion industry, traveled more, went shopping more, partying more. But of course, none of that worked. So internally, I knew I had to change something about my life and change from the inside, but I was resisting change, finding every excuse or good reason why I could not change my life. And it's no surprise that my depression got worse. And
Yes.
so in this period, I was still traveling as a model, coming to the US as well, and going to France quite often, to Spain. And there I found Louise's books. And so I said, why not? Let's read this book. And it opened the door for me. I mean, by that time, I had already read many spiritual books. But what was different in Louise' philosophy was the practicality of it. You
Yes.
know, like I remember at that time I was reading Freud and Jung and autobiography of a yogi, many
Yoga.
different books.
Yes.
Yogananda, yes, all very interesting books. But the what was standing out in Louise's work was really that you could apply it from day one.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was, for me, it was like someone giving me a hand, like
Here's the road. Take my hand, and here's
yeah,
the path.
yeah, yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah,
Phenomenal. As you speak, I mean, I really think that Louise has been a mother or an aunt to so many of us. And the beauty of a healthy mother is that they are so practical.
yeah,
Mother wit, as they call it, the term mother wisdom or mother wit is so practical. And I think that ultimately, Louise embodied that divine feminine, divine mother, however, that has manifested throughout humanity, that practicality. Here is my love, my beloved children, but this is how you apply this idea of love, universal love, in your own life by turning within first, because you are wonderfully made. When we think of scripture that tells us that we're wonderfully made, but we're like, how am I wonderfully made if I'm a mess?
exactly. And the risk is that it stays in your head, it stays in your
Yes.
cognitive comprehension somehow, because yes, I mean, at a cognitive level, I can understand that, the divine is within me, that I'm the daughter of, the divine love, etc. But at a practical level, then what can I do? And Louise's work closes that gap, in my opinion.
Closes that gap. And that's why I believe, as I sit here, I think about a woman who went through her own trials, came to an awakening, went to a religious science church, wrote a little blue booklet that then became a book, and then got translated in over 90 or 70 languages, and that you were able to find, because she was able to download these principles, apply them in her life, and she had a willingness, following the guidance, to share it with the world. And here you were on your path, and you found this wonderful, what I call spiritual technology,
Yeah.
technology that can be applied, and it can be applied first. Oh, yes. Someone is saying Louise's books are wonderful, and there's a posted testimonial on Amazon for it. Oh, bravo,
Thank
bravo.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patricia, and thank you,
Yeah, thank
everyone.
you very much.
So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's a powerful story. So you found her book, and how did you come across the trainings, or how did life lead you? And I just want to comment to all of my
Yeah.
models. I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist, vocalist myself, all of the performing artists and models who are spiritual. We find our way to this work. When I began singing and performing in Europe, I never thought I'd be a minister, a religious science minister, or a Louise Hay teacher and coach. So it's amazing how life and leads us. And Louise was also a model at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I remember even before the workshops and then the training, I remember, when you discover something that is so helpful in your life, then you want to share it with everybody. So I was still modeling at that time. But then after a while, I quit that world, but I was still modeling at that time. And I remember, before the fashion shows, there is like some time where you are with the other models, the makeup artists, the hairdressers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Yes,
it, behind the scenes, basically behind the stage, waiting for the show to start. And I remember I would lead guided visualizations. I would ask everybody to do affirmations.
that's what, when
And
we become passionate, when we fall in love with something that has radically changed our lives, we also drive people nuts. They were probably
exactly, because there were some people who were actually, like interested, and so they started reading themselves. And by the way, when then I became a Louise Hay teacher, a Heal Your Life teacher, I had quite a few models or makeup artists coming to my workshops.
yes, yes.
That was years later, but at that time there were some of the crowd there interested in the topic, and so they would follow me, but the majority were looking at me like she's nuts, she's gone crazy.
Exactly. I think I've gifted Louise's book, especially the gift edition. And beloveds, please remember, please go and get your gift edition. It's a 40-year anniversary edition, but I've had variations of that gift edition with the beautiful art. I've gifted that to about 50 hairstylists, clients, makeup art, people who probably are like, leave me alone.
Or people who at the moment they tell you leave me alone, and then years later when
Yes.
maybe something happens in their life, maybe they go through a divorce or through an illness, or even just the transitions in life like menopause or
You bet.
anything. And then they they call you and they say, oh, I found that book that you gave me and I read it now and I'm reading it now. And they ask you questions, and how can I go on with that?
I have a dear, dear friend who's a makeup artist, and I drove him nuts forever about the book. He read the book, and then one day he calls me and he said, this is going to sound strange, but I just met Louise Hay. I was in downtown Boston on a break, and she was crossing the street, and it was her. And he said, what do you think it means? I said, what do you think it means? It means keep on reading the book and apply the principles. And she hugged him and told him that she loved him. That was Louise, always, anywhere. Just
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
beautiful. So
Yeah, so then from there, then I decided to take the workshop. And then after, actually, I think I took the workshop, the Heal Your Life 2 days workshop, like 7 or 8 times. And I took the 9 weeks
yes.
probably another 5 times before going through the training, the teacher's training.
Your desire for healing and knowledge, I'll put it the other way, your desire for knowledge and applicable tools and this healing modality. What a passion. What a passion for this teaching.
Yeah.
Wow.
Indeed.
Oh,
Because even if you've gone through the weekend to the Heal Your Life 2 days workshop, there are, every time you do it again, every time you attend the guy again, there's always something new to discover. That
yes.
you go deeper, and so you find aspects of yourself that you weren't aware of before.
Wow. That is phenomenal. So you did the 2-day training. So please describe for our viewers and anyone who's interested, whether you're viewing from North America, anywhere in the world, please tell us about your view on the 2-day class and why it's so beneficial.
I think it's like, going through a washing machine. that really, I mean, really cleans you of all the toxins, emotional toxins,
Yes.
ethical, mental, spiritual, in a way. And so all the false limiting beliefs that we carry on for years, and that actually make our life miserable.
Yes.
So I think it's so many processes and many principles condensed in such a short time. And
Yes.
that's why I like to use it. I mean, to relate it as a metaphor to a washing machine. A very powerful washing machine. But then you get out of this washing machine. So in some moments, it may, I see it now that I've been leading the 2 days for so many years. I mean, there are some people who like the second days are like, okay. But at the end, you feel like you're born again. You feel like renewed. You feel like energized.
Yes, your consciousness is renewed, and your little child has time, has the opportunity to express all of the grief, all of the anger in a safe place. The anger exercise was the best because so many who attend the workshops are typically women. We welcome you, men. Please come, please.
We need you, man.
We need you. We need you, and we love you, and we'd love for you to attend. But I find that for women especially, are programmed to be good girl, to be nice, good girls, to be nice, to be polite, to let things pass, to not get angry. And, it's really not accepted. And I know even for myself, watching, so, oh, why is she getting angry? I mean, I've even found myself thinking that. And so for me, the release of pent up frustrations is so, so important. And please know, my beautiful ones, Lucia's book is available on Amazon. Yes, and I can plan on getting a copy. So
Yeah.
your whole life was
Yeah.
completely revolutionized by
Yeah.
this
My whole life.
philosophy.
Yes,
So you
yes.
went
By
from
the way, I wanted to say something about the anger release process, because at the beginning, the first time I went through the workshop, I had a hard time, expressing my anger. I actually thought to myself, but I'm not angry after all. I'm not an angry person,
I did too.
which in a way, I mean, at the first level, because then you go deeper and deeper, and then of course you understand. I mean, but at the beginning, I had difficulties in expressing my anger. But actually, what I realized is that I transformed my anger into sadness. I was very sad.
That's exactly what I've done. Depression is inverted, they say, anger. And so women have some of the highest rates of depression because anger needs to be released. It's part of the body. It's not, I had a therapist tell me anger is like lightning. It's like thunder, pardon me. It's like
Yeah,
thunder. It feels scary, but then it's over. You hear the thunder, but then
yeah,
it dissipates.
yeah.
And so it's meant to be released. But so many times we turn it into sadness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if that sadness stays there, if you don't do anything about it, then it becomes depression.
It becomes
Because
depression.
yeah, it's your energy that is kept down. So
That is suppressed because anger can be energizing. Sometimes it can lead to positive action. You get so angry and upset, you go, I'm going to start this and I quit and I'm starting my own business or I'm going off and blah, blah, blah. It can be
yeah,
very inspiring. That's why it's safe. It's
ab-
safe to release our anger. It's
absolutely.
safe. We just know that we are always surrounded by love and it's natural. And that's what's so practical about Louise. It's
Exactly.
phenomenal that she was able, in the creation of this course with Dr. Patricia, she was able to pinpoint, or they were able to pinpoint every aspect of our humanity and the acceptance of that, all the while accepting that we are also spiritual beings having a human experience. How we choose our parents and we choose these circumstances in order to grow. So, Lucia, you do the training. You do the trainings multiple times. How did you decide, or how did the universe open it up for you to become the actual international trainer for Italy?
Well, actually, I think I was so in love with the philosophy of Louise, that then it was quite natural. I I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there was a moment when I made this conscious decision, like, uh, but I don't remember actually. I just remember because my husband had gone through few years previously, had gone through the training with Patricia, and even if I mean, he was teaching with me sometimes, but then he devoted his life more to other, like business, other like workshops, other things. And so I think like talking to him, then he said, well, if you love this philosophy so much, why don't you ask Patricia, or why don't, and then it just
It just happened. Oh my goodness. To have a husband that took the classes. I know all of the spiritual girls are thrilled at that thought because I don't think there's a spiritual woman, a straight cis spiritual woman, who doesn't want a spiritual guy who'll come to classes with her. So,
yeah,
so
but actually he's my third husband, so
that's okay.
I
We believe in love. We had to go through You know, a lot
Exactly.
of us have been
Several
on a journey.
stages. Several stages of transformation before actually attracting and creating a spiritual relationship.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for that. The power of transformation. Many times when we are feeling like we're not attracting the right person, it's really because we still have some growth to do,
Yeah.
some work, some inner work to do. And my beloveds, that inner work doesn't have to take a long time. So no one is implying it's 15 years. You do that as long as you are consciously aware and in attunement and in alignment, it can happen instantly. The
Yeah.
healings. So this is the healing of mind, body, and spirit instantly. So you became a trainer
Yeah.
for Heal Your Life for the organization. And can you tell me a little bit about that? How long have you been doing that, Lucia? And when did you have the time to write all these books? Lucia has written 22 books. She is called the Louise Hay of Italy, which is phenomenal to me. So tell me about this journey and how you've made a name for yourself in the culture, in the movement of spirituality.
So I think I took the teacher's training. I think it was something around 2005 or 6, probably. I don't actually remember the exact year. And by that time, I was actually writing my first book, A Whole New Life. Um, I hadn't published it yet because I finished writing it around 2008 or 2009, if I remember correctly. But also, I want to say that um, every time I went to Patricia's training, because then I also went to as you know, staff, as assistant to
Yes.
Patricia, and then the coaching training, which you also took, and then I went as an assistant to the coaching training, which was in Thailand, by the way, and so I went quite a few times to assist Patricia, and every time some little miracles happened.
Wow.
Like, for example, once, and I don't remember if it was the coaching training, I wanted, you know, since I teach in India also, I teach not Louise philosophy, but I teach similar things and A Whole New Life in India as well. And then I thought it would be nice if a house would, you know, publish a houses in India and would publish my book in India. And I was at the coaching training assisting Patricia, and a house said, "Yes, we'll publish your book in India." You know, it's like little or big things like that. But
Yes.
I think it's the environment that has a very high frequency. You know, the
Yes.
frequency get very high, and
Yes.
so miracles happen more often and more
That's right.
easily for some
That's right.
reason.
In embracing this philosophy, in practicing its principles, you actually stay in the miracle vibration of life. That is I've done sermons on it, and that's the book that I'm writing little by little, how to stay in the miracle vibration of life,
Yeah.
because that's what happens. The frequency rises when people are willing to do the work, when people are willing to move past their stuck places and not just read. So many of us on the spiritual path read and absorb information, attend workshops, go to retreats, but it's embodying. It's the embodiment of the principles. And what I love with Louise is that reminder that you can start anywhere. Whether you're in a homeless shelter or a mansion, you begin with mirror work. You actually start declaring your love for yourself because we're so loved by the universe. And because of that, we attract so much. So, beloveds, a whole new life. Lucia has been teaching workshops on her philosophy, which was inspired by Louise Hay. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back, and Lucia is going to tell us more about her journey and her life experience, which has just been magnificent, and all the lives that she's touched. So this is Rev Martine on What Would Louise Say on the New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Well, hello there. This is Dr. Sydney Steen. I am the Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. We are a oneness center for spiritual living. And I just want to invite you to something that I think is really, really special. In October, from the 6th to the 10th, at Unity Village in Lee Summit, Missouri, the Affiliated New Thought Network will be hosting the most wonderful retreat. This will serve your soul. It will lift your heart. And oh my goodness, I want to call it an advance. So come hear wonderful speakers like Martha Creek, Sonny Cantrell, and the music will be off the hook with Ricky Byers. There will be so much there to support your soul. I hope that you will join us. You can go to antn.org. That's antn.org. You can get all the information. You can sign up. You can use a credit card, and it is safe and secure, and I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
What Would Louise Say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
We are back. We are back with Lucia, who's here from the Italian Louise Hay. How exciting. Lucia, I'd like to ask you, you have basically trained and worked with thousands of people across the globe. So how do you combine Louise's philosophy and the East and West philosophies that you yourself embraced? So how have you transformed it and made it your own, added your special formula to the teachings?
Well, actually, I think Louise's philosophy itself is very, how can I put it? It is based on a universal spirituality.
Yes.
So it's quite easy to combine it with Eastern philosophy or Eastern spirituality. Because if you, for example, as I said, I live in Thailand, and Thailand, the official religion is Buddhism, is Theravada Buddhism, whereas in Bali, it's Balinese Hinduism, which of course are two different religions. But at the same time, they both are based on a strong connection with nature, with the spirits of nature. And so in a way they both recognize like a universal energy, let's call it like this.
Yes.
And so what does Louise say? Louise says, calls the universe, or life loves me, or the universe has my back, or the universe loves me. So in a way the concepts are very similar.
Yes, they are.
Even the first affirmation, the 9 points of Louise philosophy, which basically is the golden rule of wishing for others what we wish for ourselves, and doing to others what we would like to have done, to receive ourselves. Yeah. And it's the same principle of the Theravada Buddhism, for example. They say tam di dai di, tam chua dai chua, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right because it's Thai. And in Thai, it means if you do good deeds, good will come back to you. If you do bad deeds, bad things will come back to you. So in a way, it's very, very, it's just maybe the wording that is different, but the concepts are very similar.
Oh, so beautiful. And to have had that experience, oh my gosh. And especially now to be able to go to Bali and be in that energy, as opposed to what is happening in the Western world, and how we have to stay so rooted in our spiritual practices just to create a force field. There's, just to embody love and peace in the midst. That's what we Westerners have to practice right now.
Yeah, just to give you an example, in Bali, they do prayers at least 3 times, most of them 4 times a day. And they actually, every time they offer to either to the ancestors or to the spirit of nature, they offer flowers, rice, water, incense. And so like in every building, in every office, even inside a bank, I remember I was in my bank, because I had to do to adjust something about my bank account. And all of a sudden in Bali, everything stops. And the officer there stands up and starting using the incense and blessing everything, everyone inside the bank. This is so beautiful.
So beautiful. Yesterday I saw an interview, and I tell everyone to Google it. Madonna on Jay Shetty. Yeah. He's the monk, or the former monk. And Madonna said, I would not have survived in this world without my spiritual practice. She said, all the money, all the clothes, all the fame does not bring happiness. Said out of one of the most celebrated people on the planet. She said, I had everything and I was still unhappy because I was not dedicated to my spiritual practice. So I'm only saying this because Bali and Thailand and these lovely places embody that. They know that in their day-to-day, if there is not a recognition for the spiritual, eventually as a culture, as a society, as individuals, we get lost. Yeah. And so I want to make a T-shirt that says "Spirituality is sexy." That's gonna be my T-shirt. No one can take it. No one can take it.
Absolutely. Well, actually, Jung himself, the great psychologist, Jung himself would say that out of all the thousands of people, he would say that came to see me, 99%. Their problems are rooted in a lack of spirituality.
It's true. It's very, very true. So to see this glamorous superstar, global star, sit across and after 9 years, no interviews, and said, people are seeking. So I thought it was time to tell people, this is how I have achieved success. And she said, success is impossible without spirituality. And I
Yeah.
thought, thank you, Spirit. You are, thank you, Divine. You're speaking through someone who young people might actually listen to. She said, it's impossible to be truly successful in mind, body, and spirit in
Yeah.
all areas of life without your spiritual practices. And
Yeah.
this is what you've embodied, Lucia. And what have you seen? So you've worked with so many people, you've given these classes. What are some of the tools in the Louise Hay philosophy, mirror work, positive affirmations, self love, deservability, anger release, journaling? What are some of the tools that you've seen that have been maybe the most successful for you and your students?
Well, definitely affirmations are, like the basis for me
Yes.
of everything. And I actually, if I have to say, actually, my whole life now, including all the books that I've written, my kind of life living between Italy and Bali and Thailand, leading retreats there and everything, is actually what I've been affirming for many years. And
Wow.
so now it's reality. So I think that actually it's so simple, and many people, and I don't know if it's the same for you, but many people tell me, oh, if it were so simple, oh, I don't think it,
Yes.
but it is simple, actually. It's not easy. That's a different, thing, but it is so simple, but it is true. I mean, it works. So definitely affirmation,
Work it.
of course, affirmations alone, if you don't go deep with the mirror work, the inner child, the forgiveness, the anger release, and everything, then it may it may not work so much, because if you just do affirmations but without all the necessary cleaning,
Yes. Yes.
then okay, then it might, like take more time, or it might not be so effective. So I think that the grandiosity of Louise's work is putting all these tools together, actually.
Yes, 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 yes. It really is the
Mm.
masterpiece of her work. So are you seeing clients right now? What is on the schedule for you? Are you leading retreats in Italy? What are you up to? Are there new books? Are there new programs? Let us know.
So I don't see I don't do one-on-one sessions anymore because I don't have time, but I do lots of workshops and retreats. So next retreats are, of course, in Italy, but those are just in Italian. And I have also the Heal Your Life Teachers training coming up, but that's just in Italian. So for those of you who speak Italian or want to practice Italian, welcome. But I also do retreats like in Laos, in Thailand, in Bali, and for example, I have one retreat at the end of November of January in Laos, which will be just in English, and I actually lead it together with the two teachers training, Heal Your Life teachers training from India.
Oh,
So Sneha and Sashan. So it will be very nice.
and
Yeah.
how can we find that information? Pardon me. My nose is
So there is actually the brochure is on my website, luciagiovannini.com. If you go to Work With Me Retreats, Laos, then there is the brochure with all the informations.
Yes. Wow. Lucia, that's amazing. So you are a best-selling author. 22 books, beloveds. That's amazing. With books translated in more than 10 languages. For those who may not yet know your work, can you tell us a little bit about your books and how they support personal growth, personal and spiritual growth?
Yeah. So, for example, A Whole New Life is actually a guide. Um, in order to a very practical guide. In this sense, I've been really inspired by Louise's work to make it practical, because there are so many books, so many methodologies which are very, interesting, but not that practical. And for me, practicality is important, because otherwise you cannot use it in your daily life, and it makes no sense. So A Whole New Life is really a guide into transformation, into change, in two sense, in two directions. First of all, the changes that we want to have in our life. It may be a change in our relationships, or a change in our line of work, or a change in ourselves. And the second one is the changes that life, throws at us, that life in some way, the changes we are obliged to, but we don't
We don't want.
yeah.
We think our soul wants, but we are our conscience.
Exactly. Our soul maybe needs them, but our personality doesn't like them at all. And actually fight them. And this is
exactly resistance, fights. Yes.
This is where pain is creating, through resistance.
Yes, exactly.
So in the book, of course, there are also stories of my life, but there are also many exercises and actual explanation of, like the stages of change, because we talk about change as if it were an object, but we actually cannot go to the grocery store and ask, I would like 1 kilo of change. So it's a process, and there are steps to it. So in the book, I guide the reader through the steps
wonderful. Yeah, that is such a practical. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know about you, beautiful ones, but I will be on Amazon getting this her first book out of 22 books. We are nearing, Lucia, I could talk to you for hours on so many levels. You could give me tips about moving to Thailand, as I've been dreaming of it in Bangkok and all of that. That's another interview. But as you look out into the world and you see, I know that the US is going through an interesting time, and there's stuff happening in Europe. Are there three tips, three nuggets of spiritual truth and encouragement that you could offer our viewers who want to know, and the way, maybe your quick perspective on how can we hold the most positive view of what's going on?
So first of all, I'll start with the last one, and then I'll go to the three tips. So in Hinduism, they say that this is the end of Kali Yuga. So Kali in Sanskrit means black. So it's the end, and Yuga means era, period of time. So this is the end of the black or dark period of time.
Yes.
So we decided to incarnate in this period because we have work to do here. Yes. We have to be agents of change here now. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not, honestly. I want to be honest. I can imagine it's not in the US. Even in Europe, things are getting like difficult, interesting, let's say, but like more divisions, more anger, more this kind of energy going around, more fear. And so we need to continue to be the light bearer, because that's the reason why we incarnated here.
Yes.
And after the dark age, or the Kali Yuga, there is the age of light. So we are in a way midwives for humanity to transition into the age of light. And this we have to bear in mind, especially during difficult times, because it's so easy to get scared. It's so easy to get anxious. It's so easy to get depressed. You just open any, media, except your media, but any media, any newspapers, and it's like,
exactly. It's like It's true. It makes you want to stay in bed and never get out.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So the three tips, having said that, the three tips for me are linked to one word, which is trust.
Oh,
And trust is in three directions. Trust in the universe, first of all. So trust the divine,
yes.
because as I said, our souls chose to be here and we are held by the divine. Where else can we fall if not in the hands of the divine?
Yes.
Because the divine is like we are his children, so the divine is actually holding us.
Yes.
So trust in the divine. Secondly, trust in ourselves, because we've been through difficult times in our life, if we think about it,
We have.
difficult positions, difficult moments, challenges, and we've made it.
Yes.
So we will make it also this time.
Yes.
Third, trust other people. I'm not saying trust everybody, but first of all, trust the good that it's in everybody. And secondly, find your tribe, like minded souls, and connect with each other and trust each other and help each other.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Lucia. Oh my goodness. I think that you ministered to my soul. You coached me today. You are so masterful, and I'm so grateful that we had this opportunity to have you on. I have a vision in my mind for a town hall or a group meeting with all
Yeah,
the master teachers, and we
yeah,
can talk about subjects like wealth, health, love, self
yeah.
care, self love, forgiveness, the past, how to deal with trauma. I just feel as though so many of these beautiful souls and master teachers, we can all come together. Thank
Yeah.
you for taking time out of your day, out of your life to be with us. And I am so grateful. It's been such a gift. You're truly beautiful inside and out. Thank you for
Thank you, Martin. Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be with you.
you. So, my beautiful souls, this is Reverend Martine Bernard on the wonderful show called What Would Louise Say on the New Thought Media Network.